Howdy ho, Spare Thomas. Yeah, you like that? Howdy ho, Spare Thomas.
I was itching my nose. Do it again.
Howdy ho, Spare Thomas.
And welcome back. What are we doing today?
I don't know. What
You
are we
don't know
doing
what we're
today?
doing
No,
today?
what are we doing today?
I don't know. You had an idea? We were going to talk about movie franchises because this is something that you talk about just...
All the time.
Yeah. So
I love movies. So,
I'll let you have the...
first let's talk about what a franchise is.
Okay.
So, I mean, pretty simple. Franchise is going to be, in I guess the rules for this, what we're going to be talking about, is going to be a film series that is going to have at least 2 films or more.
It's like you took a bottle of ink and threw it at the wall. Smash. And all the ink spread. And in the middle, it's dense, isn't it? And as it gets out on the edge, the little droplets get finer and finer and make more complicated patterns, see? So in the same way, there was a big bang at the beginning of things and it spread. And you and I, sitting here in this room, as complicated human beings, are way, way out on the fringe of that bang.
Craig, what is your first favorite movie franchise? And if you want to throw up favorite movie franchise up there, or top 5 favorite movie franchise, you could do something like that. So what's number 5 for you, Craig?
I would say Batman.
Batman? Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Batman's definitely good. For me, definitely number 5, because Batman's a great one for me. But that's not number 5. Number 5, I'm going to start it off with something that goes back to my childhood a little bit. And definitely going to go with Jurassic.
We are the complicated little patterns on the end of it. Very interesting. So we define ourselves as being only that. If you think that you are only inside your skin, you define yourself as one very complicated little kerlik. Way out on the edge of that explosion. Way out in space. And way out in time. Billions of years ago, you were a Big Bang. And now you're a complicated human being.
What do you think, Craig?
Guardians of the Galaxy!
Yeah, there's another great one, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a great movie. They do a lot of great things in that movie. They definitely took a risk when they made that film, and were able to really do something special with that, with characters that they didn't really think were going to be able to do really well.
And then we cut ourselves off. And don't feel that we are still the Big Bang. But you are. Depends on how you define yourself.
Before Craig, what's your number 4? I don't think I've ever seen that franchise. That's
James
funny.
Bond.
James Bond.
Go!
Okay. James Bond. Good. Pierce Brosnan was one of my favorites in that movie. He's definitely really good. Number 4 for me is... what is number 4 for me? Let me check real quick.
You are actually, if this is the way of things started,
J.R.R. Tolkien, right? Tolkien, Craig?
Talking too much is what I'm saying.
That's funny. Yeah, J.R.R. Tolkien. He created such a beautiful world with Lord of
if there was a Big Bang in the beginning, you are not something that's the result of the Big Bang. You're not something that is a sort of puppet on the end of the process. You are still the process. You are the Big Bang, the original force of the universe, coming as whoever you are. When I meet you, I see not just what you define yourself as, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so. I see every one of you as a primordial energy of the universe coming on at me in this particular way. I know I'm that too, but we've learned to define ourselves as separate from it. What is reality?
Wouldn't you agree, Craig?
My precious.
You missed there, buddy. Okay. So, you're back. All right, cool. Definitely great movie franchise though. Weird story for me was I never really got into it when they first came out. I didn't think I'd like it, fantasy, blah, kind of weird. Was never really into fantasy around the time that those came out.
If you awaken from this illusion, and you understand that black implies white, self implies other, life implies death, or shall I say death implies life, you can conceive yourself. Not conceive, but feel yourself. Not as a stranger in the world, not as someone here on the surface or probation, not as something that has arrived here by fluke, but you can begin to feel your own existence as absolutely fundamental. What you are basically, deep down, far in, is simply the fabric and structure of existence itself. So say in Hindu mythology, they say that the world is a drama of God.
Yeah, let's move on to number 3. Craig, what's your third one there, bud?
I'd have to say the Monster Movie Universal franchise.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, they're doing some big things with that. Yeah, it should be pretty good. So like they've done what have they done so far? Have they really only done one so far with Godzilla? Is that it? Craig, just Godzilla so far?
They're also remaking Frankenstein with Tom Cruise.
Okay, so wait, no, I thought that was the Mummy. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that should be interesting. Kong Skull Island, I'm hearing good things about that. Pretty cool franchise, but I think at this point for me, getting into number 3, I gotta go with the Batman. Just Batman in general, man.
God is not something in Hindu mythology with a white beard that sits on a throne that has royal prerogatives. God in Indian mythology is the self. So in this idea, then everybody fundamentally, the ultimate reality, not God in a political kingly sense, but God in the sense of being the self, the deep down basic whatever there is, in your all that, only pretending you're not, and it's perfectly okay to pretend you're not, to be perfectly convinced, because this is the whole notion of drama. Camus said there is only really one serious philosophical question, which is whether or not to commit suicide. I think there are 4 or 5 serious philosophical questions. The first one is, who started it? The second, are we going to make it? The third, where are we going to put it? And the fourth, who's going to clean it up? And the fifth, is it serious? I want to make one thing absolutely clear. I am not a Zen Buddhist. I am not advocating Zen Buddhism. I am not trying to convert anyone in it. I have nothing to sell. I am an entertainer.
Play that new Telltale Batman. That looks really good. Craig, have you played the new Telltale Batman yet?
Flack for Ben Affleck.
Where's Rachel? Man, so good, Batman. Just does a great job, Batman. So I think that's all I have to say about the Batman franchise. I think, I could get a lot deeper into, some of the comics, some of the stories, like the Hush series and Arkham Asylum. Some really good stories in there. So I think we can move on to number 2 now. Craig, what's your second?
I'm gonna have to say Superman. My boy Superman.
Oh, Superman! Whoa. Oh, okay, cool. So the Richard Donner. Yeah, he kind of made the definitive Superman movies, which is really cool. I definitely like the new ones too. I like Henry Cavill as the new Superman. It's kind of hard to top the performance of Christopher Reeves, who just did an amazing job, and what a tragic story that was. But he lived life to the fullest, man, and he was doing what he loves.
What, being paralyzed in a wheelchair? Live life to its fullest.
I believe my number 2 movie franchise definitely has to be definitely the Marvel franchise. They've done just an amazing job with those movies. I mean, it seems like Marvel can't do anything wrong. And even speaking to the comics, I never...
That is to say, in the same sense that when you go to a concert and you listen to someone play Mozart, he has nothing to sell except the sound of the music. He doesn't want to convert you to anything. He doesn't want you to join the organization in favor of Mozart's music as opposed to, say, Beethoven's. And I approach you in the same spirit as a musician with his piano or a violinist to his violin. I just want you to enjoy the point of view that I enjoy. There's obviously a place in life for a religious attitude, for awe and astonishment at existence. There's also a bias for respect for existence. We don't have much of it in this culture, even though we call it materialistic. In this culture we call materialistic today. We are of course bent on the total destruction of material and its conversion into junk and poisonous gases. This is of course not a materialistic culture because it has no respect to material, and respect is in turn based on wonder.
With Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, we just finished watching Logan. Me and Craig went and saw Logan, which was pretty good, right, Craig?
Yeah.
Yeah, Logan was great.
Ego is a social institution with no physical reality. The ego is simply your symbol of self.
Number 1 topic here, guys. Not number 1 topic, but our number 1 movie franchise here, guys. And what's your number 1, Craig?
My number 1. I don't have one.
So number 1 for me, definitely Star Wars, man. Star Wars. You don't
Star Wars, man.
Star Wars.
I was gonna say Star Wars.
Okay, cool. So we have the same number 1. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Star Wars, great. I love Star Wars, man. Star Wars. They started off with a bang with those movies, man. There's a lot of things. I mean, once again,
The word water is a noise that symbolizes a certain liquid without being it. So too, the idea of ego symbolizes the role you play, who you are, but it is not the same as your living organism. Now you see, if you understand what I'm saying with your intelligence, and then take the next step and say, but I understand it now, but I didn't feel it. Then next I raise the question, why do you want to feel it? You say, I want something more, because that's again the spiritual greed, and you could only say that because you don't understand it. The pity of all this is, a man has to have disciples, or no one would ever hear about him. But somehow, as the generations pass, the flame dies out, and eventually the disciples kill him. I wish that there was a way of putting a time bomb into scriptures and records. Not a time bomb, but some kind of invisible ink, so that all scriptures would unprint themselves about 50 years after the Master's death.
Wouldn't you agree, Craig?
Friday. Friday.
Craig, it's Saturday. What are you doing?
Oh.
Yeah, sit down. Did you just fart?
I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, me too. Is that it? Are we done with the episode?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that's it.
So before we let you guys go today, like your kids in class, we got a couple brief announcements for you from Spare Time Zone. Craig Latchaw.
Just a couple plugs. I have an art show the 25th at the Soap Gallery in Youngstown. Come in. I might be talking a little bit, and I'm going to be peddling my wares. One of which is this new bad boy.
Mm-hmm. It's good. It's really good.
Did you read it?
I did.
Oh, nice.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I lied.
I illustrated most of the works in here, written by Christian Bar. Yeah, check that shit out. Check out the art.
Check that shit out, homie.
It's BYOB, by the way.
But once again, Spare Timers, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks for giving us your spare time. Thanks for giving us your spare time.